Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Classic Country Backstories. I'm Colleen Gallagher. And who are you?
I'm Jim Gallagher.
Hi, Jim Gallagher. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing great.
We're so glad to be on here live with you all this evening. We hadn't done it in a few weeks, and uh, we've been meaning to get back on here, and we've just been so busy and so much going on with us these days. But
Busy.
we're glad to be back on here tonight. We're really, really excited to be here on our second anniversary of Classic Country Backstory. So proud of that. 2 years. We've worked really, really hard on this the last couple of years, and time has just flown. Doesn't seem possible that we've been doing this already 2 years.
No.
Um, Hope to have a whole lot more time to do this, a whole lot more episodes for you and all that good stuff. So glad to see you out there tonight, listening to us and watching us. I hope you'll be a part of the show tonight and give us your comments, give us your thoughts. Um, Tell everybody to tune in. If you got somebody you can text, tell them to tune in to our program tonight. We're really excited to be here. So,
Yes. This
like I said, what were you saying, Jim?
I said this is the place to be on a Sunday night.
That's right. That's right. Sunday evening. So glad to be here. We've got a lot going on right now, a lot coming up in the next few weeks. Uh, going to be sharing a lot of that with you tonight, hoping that you'll come along with us and whatever we do, we film and we'll bring some stuff back to you if you don't get a chance to be with us. But so glad to be here on our second anniversary. Actually, our first anniversary aired 2 years ago today. This was the first episode that aired. So it's
Wow.
already it was exactly 2 years.
I didn't
So we've
realize
done an
that.
awful lot of stuff since then. We uh, have filmed an awful lot of content, made a bunch of episodes, and then actually lost some content, didn't we, Jim? We had a
Yeah,
hard drive that went by bad
that was a
had-
nightmare.
that was a nightmare. It's still a nightmare when I
Yeah.
get ready to do an episode. I anytime that I'm working, I save everything. I save pictures, I save information to come back to later. And I did that, and I made the mistake of putting it in one place. I shouldn't have done that. Probably should have put it out there in a cloud somewhere, but um, ended up the hard drive went bad. It was corrupt, and I lost everything I had. So we had to kind of start over,
Yes.
which is okay. You learn something every time that you do something like this, I guess, and it was a well lesson learned for us. I pretty well stick to 2 or 3 episodes at a time and all the information, and I know that once I've got an episode and it is ready to go, I have it in a couple different places. So I'm hoping we can avoid that kind of thing in the future, but. Um, so our first episode aired on March the 1st, 2024, starring Hawkshaw Hawkins. So we had Hawkshaw Hawkins Jr., who was the son of Hawk Sr. and country legend Gene Shepard. He was on there with us. We had never met him before. Um, and so we had interviewed him. He's ended up being a very, very dear friend of ours and actually wanted to come on tonight, but he is opening for the Malpass brothers tonight. So he could not be with us. We will get him on at one point. Also planning on talking to his brother, Donnie. Donnie is, if you don't know the backstory, you need to go watch both episodes of Hawkshaw Hawkins that we have and Gene Shepard. But Donnie was 18 months old when his father died, and Hawk Jr. was not born yet. Gene Shepard was 8 months pregnant with Hawk whenever his daddy was killed in a plane crash with Cowboy Copus, Randy Hughes, and Patsy Cline. But he still has so many good stories, and I love talking to him. And we will get him back on. We're going to see him next week, so we're going to get with him, and we'll probably have him and possibly his brother on with us at some point. But since we have started, we've made 48 episodes, full episodes. along with 29 shorts, which Jim has been working voraciously on doing those. Um, Gene Shepard's received over 67,000 views, and Hawkshaw Hawkins has received almost 38,000. So we're so proud of that. We're at 50, no, I'm sorry. We are right now we're at 2,152 subscribers. So I mean that's gone up pretty quick in the last month even. So we're just going to keep building and keep doing what we do, and hoping that you like it, and hoping that that this channel can just keep being more successful. Our main goal at the end of the day is we want to pay homage to those who created traditional country music, love country music. We want to keep that alive, and want to keep the memory of those who are no longer with us that created all of this, and made a pathway for us to carry forward and play traditional country music. So um, we're hoping to just keep building. So we listen to your comments and we listen to your suggestions, and we have some upcoming episodes that are actually based on your requests. So hang in there, keep watching. Um, well, hello there, Mr. Jackson. It's good to see you this evening. Thanks for tuning in with us. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
we
our son's in the house tonight too.
Well, our son Alex is here. Whoa, and I bet you the grandbabies are there too, and
Yeah.
Miss Hannah. So glad to have you all with us tonight. It's a lot of fun to be on here, and I'm glad you're sharing it with us. So we went to church with them this morning, didn't we? We had a good afternoon with them, and
Yeah.
they came over to the house for a little bit. So it's been a good day, very blessed day.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, we are listening to what you're saying. So make sure you give us those comments, and we will do the best we can.
Vern,
Oh, hi Vern. Tell
what
Vern I love her. Give her a big hug for me, okay?
what's up, Vern?
Yeah. Vern is short for Veronica.
Yeah.
So we love Miss Veronica.
We
She's a
call her
sweet,
Vern.
sweet gal. We call her Vern. So, and Miss Debbie Scott's in the house. I love you too, Debbie. It's good to have you on there with us tonight.
And
Appreciate that. So let us know what you think about these shorts. Oh, Kurt and Angie Cook. All right. So glad you guys are with us. They have a great channel, don't they?
yes, they do.
Do you want to do that now? You want
Do
to do
you
that
want
in a
me
little bit?
to? I'll do it right now.
You just go right ahead. We're proud of these guys and happy for them.
Yeah. Let's share some content here as soon as I figure out how to do this.
Hey, that's okay. While you're doing that, I'll say that Kurt and Angie are very very dear friends of ours and camping buddies, and we love them a whole lot. And Kurt is an incredible singer and songwriter. So if you've never heard Kurt Cook, you need to try to hear him. He's great. He's fantastic,
Yes.
and they're great people. Great people.
They have a YouTube channel also. It's called Heartland Hot Rods. What goes
That's right.
better with great classic country music than classic cars?
That's right.
So make sure you check out their YouTube channel, Heartland Hot Rods. They have a website, heartlandhotrods.com. Uh, Features all kinds of classic cars, and let me get this rolling here. Yeah, you can see on the website they do a live every Monday
Monday
night.
night. Yep.
Yes,
At 6
yes,
p.m. Standard Time.
yes. So make sure you check out Heartland Hot Rods.
It's a great show, and Greg and Kevin Harnett and Kurt Cook, they do a fabulous job. They know a lot about cars. Um, it's really interesting to me to see some of these old vintage cars that they go to people's houses, they go to car shows. Um, Make sure if you have a vintage car, get a hold of them.
Yeah,
They're fabulous. They do a great job of coming out. They want to see what you got and show it off for you. And I think that's a real cool thing. So, like Jim said, what goes better with country music, the old traditional country music, than old cars? So vintage cars. So, well, you're welcome. We're glad to support you guys. You have a great channel, and it's like I say, it's good for ladies too. I mean, they have some really, really neat stuff on there, and I enjoy watching what they've got. As soon as they get an episode out, I make sure to watch it. So,
yeah,
so I say it's not just for the guys, that's for
yep.
sure.
My
Hey,
buddy,
Greg.
Greg Stevens is
Oh,
in the
Greg
house.
Stevens, he's a buddy of ours. He lived in Nashville for a long time. I think he's Greg, where you at? I think you're like around Chattanooga, maybe something like that now. I'm gonna miss you because we're gonna be down there next week. And I typically look for you when I get to the Music City Bar and Grill because I know you listen to a lot of great bands down there. So I hope you're doing better. I know you've been a little under the weather, so you've been in my prayers. I hope you're feeling
Yes.
better soon. Um, so just wanted to let you know that when we started all this stuff 2 years ago, we had no idea what we were doing, really, did
No,
we? Some days I still think we don't know what we're doing.
no, but YouTube is your friend, so
Yeah,
you can go back and research what to do and how to do it. So
right. And we're always hoping we're doing the right things. And sometimes you don't know. Yes, you're in Chattanooga, Greg. I guess we're going to have to get down there and see you down there. I hope one of these days. I would love to see you again. He's a sweet, sweet man. Yeah, we 2 years ago, like I said, we went into this kind of not knowing what we were doing, and so many other people do the same thing. You just feel it out as you go and find out what works and what doesn't. So, we just dropped an episode on Patty Loveless this past Friday. We're so excited about that, and Jim has his Patty Loveless T-shirt on in honor of Miss Patty.
love
He
me some
loves her.
Patty.
He loves her. I think. I don't know. He says she is his second favorite singer.
Second, you're the
Uh,
first. She's the second.
I don't know. I'm not so sure, but I love Patty
Yeah,
too, so that's okay. She's pretty awesome. I think she seems like a down to earth girl, and we love her music. She's very pure. My understanding, she's going to go back out on the road and do some dates. So she's been off the road a little bit the last few years because her
yeah.
husband, Emery Gordy, has not been well, and he was her record producer through most of her albums. Played bass guitar in most of her albums, and and like I said, he's not been real well the last few years, and she's taken some time off to be with him. So but she is popping out there. So
Our daughter's in the house tonight
our
too.
daughter's in the house. Hello, Miss Holly. I'm so glad to see you too. I'm so glad to have our kids on here with us.
Yes,
It's
that is my
great.
other woman.
Yeah, it is his other woman, but that's okay. That's okay. I love you, Holly. We were we had the grandkids, and our granddaughter Addison, she was really she has fun with Snapchat. So she got on the filters, and we took pictures and sent them to Holly, and we even sent them to Alex and Hannah when they were outside. So we had a good afternoon doing that, didn't we?
Yes.
It was a lot of fun. Um, so we're constantly researching and working on new episodes. And right now I have 4 or 5 episodes in the works, and I'm sometimes undecided about the lengths of the videos. Do I make a video that I would want to see and include the details of somebody's life and career, or do I make shorter videos that are easier to watch? Um, I may be able to turn episodes loose more quickly, but I'm often more concerned about the continuity of the content. So let me know what you think. Just as far as our long videos, you know, how long is too long of a video? I
Yeah.
usually
Well,
don't go over 30 minutes, but I just feel like some of these people, especially in traditional country music, if you don't, if they've had a long career, it takes a little while to get through really what they've done, and you don't want to leave things out. And it works out perfect, like I said, with Jim doing the shorts, he does the shorts and then has some bits here and there. But what our hope is that it will drive people back to looking at the full episode once they see a little bit of it, and then they can actually go back and watch the whole video. So, hi, Miss Ann Miller.
hi,
Good
Ann.
to see you on here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, did you have something to say, Jim?
No, I was just saying that, YouTube, they kind of recommend the shorter videos, but, if you're really in tune with the content, they're going to watch a 30-minute video.
Yeah. That is
You
my
know.
hope. That is our hope when we put these together, that the people that want to see these classic country stars want to hear everything about them, as much as we can give them anyway. And, and to tell the complete story, a lot of their stories are really fascinating. To me, it's amazing how somebody you can come from any walk of life and be successful in the music industry. Um, and sometimes it's the luck of the draw, and those episodes will tell you that.
Yeah.
So
It's about being at the right place at the right time
it is.
with the right people.
It is. Well, and I wish I knew. I know Loretta Lynn had a saying that you had, to make it, you have to be. What was the deal? You have to be better, or you have to be different. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that is true. You have to have something out there that somebody else doesn't have. But even with that, I mean, we see so many people. I've seen so many people in my life in the music industry that never left home, never left their hometowns.
Mm,
They sing at church on Sunday, or they sing in their local bands, or they play their local fairs or whatever. And these people are every bit as good as somebody that might have a record contract. So, uh, but that's what's fascinating. Everybody comes from somewhere, and it's really cool to read those stories. So, hi, Miss
yeah.
Bev Miller. I hope you're doing good this evening. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you so much. Um, but yeah, it's fascinating. Their lives are fascinating, and when I went into it, maybe it's a selfish way of saying it, but um, I went in there for the love of the music and the love of these people's stories myself. So I just basically do what I think I would want to know. And I learned so much just by researching that. And Jim does too, the things
Yeah.
that he does. Um, you learn things you don't know. And, sometimes artists that you may think you know a lot about their story. There's a lot out there. So, and that's to me, that's what makes them interesting. Those stories, the backstories. It's why we call it classic country backstories. So,
Yeah.
um, do you
Well,
want to take over a little bit?
yeah, while we're on the classic country backstories type thing, I want to share a good friend of ours has a YouTube page, and it's called Classic Country Music Shows. Our buddy the
Ye-
Jamester. If you
Yes.
have not seen this channel and you love classic country, you need to check it out because he has tons of videos from Nashville now,
Mm-hmm.
the Opry, uh, all the TNN stuff that, you can't get anymore. The Porter Wagner Show, um, just tons of stuff. He has like 15,000 subscribers, but it's really good stuff. We set up last night till what, like midnight, watching
Yeah.
a Loretta concert that
Yes.
he he had put up, and it was
Yes. It
really
was.
good.
It was at the Wheeling Jamboree in Wheeling, West Virginia. It was back in 1984.
Yeah,
Um, and it was an incredible show. It was really good. Mooney Lynn actually made a rare appearance on the stage,
yeah,
which I thought was really funny. He typically didn't. Um, Most of the time, when he was on the road, he was kind of gone and off doing his own thing. So uh, but he was very funny. Yeah, and so but the show was incredible. It's really something worth seeing. So, but yes, he has. I get down the wormhole sometimes, and it's hard for me to go to bed because I'm watching his channel, and I'm watching the episodes that he has put up. So I'm glad somebody is preserving it and putting it out there so that we can all see it. So it's
yes.
cool. It is. It is very, very good. Classic country music shows. It's pretty awesome. What else you got, Jim?
Um, got some news. Let me share this screen. Uh, Keith Whitley is in the news. His son has gotten some stuff together, and there's a lot of unheard Keith Whitley songs that exist. Evidently, he's getting ready to put together some stuff. You can read this article on saving country music, and there's a video too that has an interview with Jesse Keith Whitley that talks about this stuff. But evidently, they're getting ready to go into the archives and they're going to release some new Keith Whitley that hasn't been heard.
Yeah.
So that's kind of exciting.
It definitely is. He's another one of those guys too that um he had such an amazing voice. I saw him in Wichita Falls, Texas in gosh, 1987 probably, 6 or 7, something like that. When I was on the road with Bricky's Pass, we had a night off and we went to see him play. And he put on an amazing show. And now there's some of his videos that are out there too.
Yeah, what was that video we watched a couple weeks ago? It was like
It
in a
was a it was
bar
a
or
club gig,
something, a
yeah.
club
That's
bit.
yes. When I saw him, it was that way. He had hit, and he was doing well. Well, a lot of these guys, when you're on the road, you're booking well in advance. You'll go a year in advance, especially if you're a road band.
Right.
Uh, you'll take jobs a year in advance, and you'll sign contracts, and you're locked into it. Well, Keith was a big star when I saw him, and it was a club that he played in. It was a nice club, big club, but he was playing in this club, and we were just tickled to death to get to see him. And he'd had a lot of hits at that point. He'd already had, Miami, Miami, and Quitting Time. He had Love 10 Feet Away.
Yeah.
He had Nothing at All. I mean, he had a lot of his major hits at that point. Um, and we were fortunate enough to get to see him, and he put on a really, really great show. He had a great band.
Yeah.
Uh,
Joey Smith was playing keyboard
yep,
for him, our
Joey
buddy.
Schmidt. Yeah, and if you go to
Music.
Nashville, go to Music Valley Drive on a Wednesday or Thursday night, you'll see Joey playing keyboards for the Music City Playboys. He's an amazing keyboard player.
Yeah.
So
And
we
our,
we've tried to get him on the show, but he's a little shy, I think. So,
yeah.
but he's a great player, great
But
player.
if you really want to hear a good band, it's the Music City Playboys. But on Wednesday night, our buddy Damon Gray sings with the Music City Playboys, and he knocks it out of the park.
Mm-hmm. He does. He does. He's been down there for a long time. Um, I don't know. He's probably one of my favorites, very favorites I've ever seen in Nashville. He's just a great, great singer and a great guy.
Yes.
Hey, Denny, it's good to see you. We love you too, buddy. We're gonna have to get together soon. I miss you. Miss seeing you. But yeah, Damon is amazing. Joey Schmidt's there. Most of the time, Will Bagby is playing guitar with them, and he plays for Zach Top now.
Yeah.
Uh, he's
He played for Joe Diffie
yes,
until Joe passed,
yep,
and he's a phenomenal guitar player. He's a pretty good singer too. I like to hear
yeah,
him sing.
yep,
He's got a different style. He's a little
yeah,
southern,
very southern.
got a little twang to his voice, but
And,
he's really good.
and he's really a sweet guy too. He's
Oh
just
yeah.
really, really sweet. So we're just tickled to death for him, though. Watching him for several years in Nashville, it's neat to watch these guys, kind of get out there and have some success, and a lot of hard work. You think about in Nashville, it's tough. Nashville is a very tough town.
Well, it's really tough for traditional country music because there's not a lot of it there. You have to go to, Music Valley Drive to hear that because Broadway is nothing country music anymore.
Yeah.
I think Alan Jackson's place, and I'm not going to get on a campaign here and go on a rant, but Alan Jackson Place is about the only place you can hear good country music on Broadway, and some of our friends play down there, Bill
Yeah.
Cook and
Yeah.
some of
Yeah.
them guys. But
Well,
to
yeah.
hear real country music, you have to go out to Music Valley Drive, Music City Bar and Grill, Scoreboard. the Troubadour, the Nashville Palace.
Yes.
That's our hangout. You know,
That's the area to hang out. If you like
that's yeah,
traditional country
and
music,
it's cool because there's no admission.
no,
You don't pay to get in, and you don't have to pay for parking. You don't have to
no.
fight the downtown parking lots and paying $30 an hour for parking.
Right. Yeah,
So
the
it's a
parking is
win.
free. Yes. And the cool thing about it too is, when you, especially like when you're younger and you want to get out and walk and walk and walk, Broadway, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of eclectic different types of music going on down there. And
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it. It's great,
No, no,
but
I'm
it's
not.
like, people have asked me, like somebody asked me yesterday with Tootsie's, is Tootsie's still going? And I'm like, Tootsie's is like going gangbusters, but there's no country music at Tootsie's. Not much anyway. Let's
Mm-mm.
put it that way. It's not, they don't very often have a full band. It's usually like a single act, something like that. Um, but it is not what you would consider traditional like in the old days, and one of the fascinating things about Tootsie's that, that there's an alley and Tootsie's backs up to the Ryman Auditorium if you've not been there. And back in the day when Hank Williams was alive and, Marty Robbins and Jimmy Dickens and, people like that, Loretta and Mooney and all these people, they would do the Opry and they would slip out the back door of the Ryman and they would slip into the back door of Tootsie's Orchid Lounge and they would sit in there and this was um, before people put gates up around their houses and, I mean, let's be honest, it's not, things are not as safe as they used to be. And especially for country artists, for any kind of a star of any sort, you have to protect yourself, but back in the day, well, every time I go through that little area, I look in that alley and I think, gosh, how many times, did Jimmy Dickens walk across to Tootsie's after he got done playing the Opry or in between Opry? Some of them would do that. They had two shows, like a 7 o'clock and like a 9:30. Still do it that way, but people would leave the Ryman and go over and have a drink or maybe something to eat, and they would visit with the fans, sign autographs. It was a different time, like in the 40s, 50s, 60s, uh, early 70s. Um, Farron Young, Willie Nelson, all those people stayed in, they went to Tootsie's when they played the Opry. So that was a big thing. But, there are fond memories of all of that. But I mean, I personally have not, I want to go into Tootsie's. I always feel like when we go down there, I'm like, I'm going to go in there. But there's not much of what was then now. So,
No.
Robert's Western World has some country music now.
Yeah.
They still do have some country music. Now, there are some places that do, um, but there's a lot of other types of music as well. So
Yeah.
and it's successful, and they're making money, and they're packing them in. So more power to them.
Yeah.
That's
But
not I have nothing against any other kind of music.
no.
My biggest thing is don't call it country music if it's not.
Right.
And there's a lot of that
Right.
out there at this point.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe that hopefully is changing, and I've been listening to some newer folks here lately, a few things that I've heard that I like, and I feel like it's kind of maybe circling back around a little bit. So,
Well, it's definitely out there. You just got to search for it.
right.
I
Well, and
mean, now with all the streaming avenues we have, we have Spotify, YouTube Music,
mhm,
iTunes, all that. I mean, if you just dive in and dig for it, you'll find it.
right.
You're not going to hear it on commercial radio for
No.
sure.
No. Well, I say,
So,
you're not in most big markets.
no.
We're fortunate enough that here in our area that we live in, we have a local radio station called Froggy 96. And they play everything, but like the morning program is is traditional country, most of it. And
Yeah,
in the afternoons, a lot of times when when
well,
I'm coming home, they're playing a lot of traditional country.
they mix it up quite a
They,
bit. I mean,
yes, and that's
they
where I hear the new stuff
they have
because
a
they do play other stuff.
they have a criteria that they have to meet. They have to play,
Sure.
what's on the charts. But
Right.
thankfully, it's a family-owned operation, the Dawkins Broadcast Group, and he owns
Yes.
several other radio stations,
Mhm.
including different formats. They have rock, they have talk radio,
Mhm.
everything.
Yes.
So, but being a family-owned operation, he can kind of control what he plays a little bit. As long as he
Mhm.
plays the hits and all that, everything that's on the charts. He can throw what he wants to play in there, which
Right.
thankfully, they do still play a lot of traditional country music, and I'm talking all the way back to Hank Williams,
Oh yeah.
Fair and
Yeah.
Young, to 80s, 90s, everything. It's just a
I
very good mix.
I sent a text to Brad Dawkins, the son of Fred Dawkins, the owner of the radio stations. He DJs in the mornings a lot of times. But I sent him a text because he was playing some great stuff Friday morning. I heard him playing an Empty Glass, Gary Stewart. I mean, he was playing some great
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Hello, Sharon, my sister Sharon. She's with us. I also saw my cousin Nancy in the house.
Yes.
Thank you for being here with us tonight. We
Nancy is
appreciate that.
here. Um,
Yep, they're
yep.
just all kind of folks.
Yeah. But
I
we
yeah,
don't.
Ann says, "I hate to hear there's some AI music taking over. The singers don't exist, all AI. Pitiful." That
Yeah.
there is truth to that. There's a
There's
lot.
there's artists. There's one that I know of. I think me and Kurt was talking about this here a few weeks ago. That there's an artist that doesn't exist that is on the charts in country music. He
Isn't
doesn't exist,
wow.
and the song was all AI generated, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. How could that even happen? How could
Yeah.
that even be
Yeah.
allowed? It's just kind of crazy
Yeah.
how that works, but it is the way it's so uh
Yeah. That
Greg
would be
says,
good,
great
Greg.
topic. Maybe you can get Mr. Dawkins to come on the show, talk about what it's like to run a station. I would love to do that. I would
Yeah.
love to do that. And I bet he would do that. I bet they would do that.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
sure
we
we
could
could
do
get
that.
one of them. There's,
That's a great idea, Greg.
yeah.
Thank you so much for bringing that up because it's honestly not something I thought about. But
Yeah.
but that would be a really really good thing. They run a great radio station. So
Kurt asked in the comments earlier if we would talk about our Nashville trip coming up this week. So
oh yes,
if you want to
yes, we
elaborate on that, I'll throw up some
sure.
stuff.
We're headed to Nashville this Wednesday morning for the Nashville traditional trip. Folks from Ireland are coming over to spend a week with us, and we're so excited to be spending some time with our Irish friends. Um, there is a fella named Ryan Turner that's kind of heading things up. He is from Ireland. He's an amazing Irish singer, piano player who plays steel guitar, plays guitar. He's just a really great singer and great talented person. His son Josh is going to be playing steel guitar.
Hmm.
He's coming over. The tour has been put together with Brian and a tour company from Ireland and our buddy Max T Barnes. They've been working on this for the last year. There's a good picture of us in Ireland.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna throw up some Ireland pictures here while you talk. So keep
that's
going.
awesome. Yeah, the Jonathan Milligan it was on steel guitar there. Ryan is playing piano. So yes, that was one of our shows over in Ireland the last time that we went over, which I think was what,
Hmm. 2019.
2019? Yes.
Yeah,
So
right before the scamdemic shut everything
yes.
down.
And we had a big tour
Big
booked to
year.
go back over and they shut it all down. So we did not get to go back over. And I'm telling you, we've been over there a few times and it's just a fabulous place to go. The people are amazing in Ireland. Um, they were very kind to us, very very cordial. We played a lot of shows, had a lot of good times, and met a lot of nice people. very down to earth people. So we're excited. Yeah, that is the band that played the show over there that Ryan played with us.
Yeah.
Jonathan Milligan's on the left, and of course me and Max T Barnes, and then there's Ryan Turner and Jim. So, um,
Yeah.
but yes, they're coming over Wednesday, and they're going to be with us for a week. Um, we're going to be they're going to be doing we're going to do a show for them on Saturday at the Troubadour. So we're really looking forward to that. The trip includes so many cool things, like the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Grand Ole Opry, and the Ryman, the Johnny Cash Memorial, which I think is probably going to take them to the cemetery where Johnny and June are buried. And then the General Jackson Showboat, and then there's going to be an evening of music at the Music City Bar and Grill at Music Valley Drive to see the Music City Playboys. Yeah, that's a good picture of us. Of
Mm-hmm.
us with Mr. Max T. Barnes, that big smiling face. We have had so much fun with these trips with him. I'm telling you, Max is he's family to us. Um, I did demos for him and his dad back in the '80s, and I worked for them down there. Um, and it's just going to be this whole trip is just a neat thing for us to get to be a part of. We've been excited about it for several months, so we're looking forward to that. Looking forward to the show. Also have Mr. Paul Hollowell, which Paul plays for Dolly. Uh, Incredible piano player, keyboard player as well, and
He he
we're
also
also
played.
going to have Jet do what?
He
Huh?
he also played for Reba McEntire. I
Yeah, he
mean,
was with Reba for a long time too.
the guy
So
can't keep a job. So that's what Max says anyway.
yeah, yeah, that's what he says. We love Paul though. He is fabulous. So uh that's what my sister Kathy's on here too. She says, as Barbara Mandrell would say, you were country when country wasn't cool. And that's no lie.
Yes.
That's for sure. Um, Kurt says, if you listen to the newer country, I believe it's mostly AI generated. The voices just don't sound natural. No.
No.
Um, it's funny. Pro Tools can be a good thing. I do believe that.
Can be.
But it can be. But I think a lot of times, my personal opinion now, I mean, for what it's worth, um,
It gets
I think you need to do
overused.
your job and sing. If you can sing, you can sing. And yeah, there are places where it would be nice to make things smooth things out, and I'm not telling you I haven't used it. I've
Yeah.
used tuning before, but
Well, and
there's a difference. You don't want to change somebody's voice so that when they get live, you don't even hear the same person. And
yeah.
that happens a lot, an awful lot.
Yes.
And I've heard things that it's like Kurt says, it sounds electronic. Prime example, do you remember, and this is funny on a country station, but Cher, when she came out with that, do you believe in life after love?
I can't stand
She
share.
used it as like a techno thing. It was a effect, but that was Pro Tools.
Yeah.
That was what happens to move the voice like it does. Well, that's what Pro Tools does. And it can make you sound perfectly in tune when you don't know how to sing in tune.
Well,
It's just the way it is.
you have to have talent first to be able to
Yes.
sing. And I'm going to brag on your brother a little bit.
Oh
Your
yeah, I wish you
your
would.
your brother Randy. He is a singing fool.
Yeah, he is.
When we recorded our first album back in I don't know, years ago.
Oh gosh, 2004 maybe? 5?
Two
2?
two thousand two.
See,
Yeah, I remember now. Okay. So we went in and we did the music and everything, and then we had him come back and do the vocals. And he recorded the Ronnie Millsap song, A Legend in My Time.
yes.
And the only thing I had to fix was at the end where it goes way up high on the outro. There was just a little piece of something that I had to fix on it with Pro Tools. But other than that, nothing.
No.
And he
No.
sang like 5 songs on the album.
Yeah.
you know.
And a lot of his were like one takes. That's why, you know.
Yeah, it was all one take.
Yeah.
I think we did two on Legend in my time, but I kind of copied and pasted some stuff. But I mean, you
Yeah.
got to have the talent to begin with.
Yeah. Well, and he had taken a 20-year break. When
Yeah,
he came back with us and he did that, I mean, that's one of the things that amazed me, you know, because he hadn't sang. I mean, he sang in church, you know, but as far as doing live shows and all that, and he hadn't recorded in a long, long time, lot longer than that.
yeah,
Uh, but you know, I mean, when he quit playing back in the '80s, we had never been in a band where we had monitors, so he wasn't even used to using a monitor to sing with. You just sang. You had your PA and you sang. And I think about that now that we did that. It's kind of crazy, but he was
yeah,
kind of old school, so he didn't know any better. And he came back in, and you know, and he just killed it, you know.
yeah.
But he did, you know, he didn't require too much tuning, that's for sure.
No,
But
no.
but
And
no,
he
he
he can sound like Ronnie Dunn. He can
yeah,
sound like John Conley. He can
yeah,
sound like Ronnie Millsap, or he can sound like Randy Grogan. You know, so it's
yeah, he's pretty amazing. That's for
yeah,
sure. Um, talent or the lack of it isn't a deal breaker anymore. Just be pretty and marketable. They'll do the rest.
exactly.
That's true. Very true. There's a lot of that going on right now. But, you know, I mean, and there are some good singers. That's I don't know. I'm It's like I almost hate to throw things out like names out there at this point. I mean, I love Zach Top. I do like Zach Top.
Yes.
Um, some of these people that, you know, you kind of have to, some of it has to grow on you. Um, and I don't want to knock anybody, like I said, for doing, but it's like, if it's real, you know, make sure you're doing the real thing. Because you can't keep it up forever. It's not going to be like this forever.
No.
So, you know, I
That's
think I think there'll be a turning point.
that's a lot of the problem, and I'm not going to mention any names, but they record these songs in such a high key,
Oh yeah.
and they don't think about 10 years down the road when they're still performing and
Yep.
they got to hit that stuff
Right.
and they can't.
Right.
And some of them refuse to change the key to make it, accommodating. So it sounds really bad.
Right. Exactly. If you can't do it, you know, I mean, and all of us get to that point at some point where you're not going to be able to, if you're a rain singer, you hit really high, you know, that you can't keep it up.
See,
So,
that's
I mean,
that's
and there's
that's
nothing wrong with going down a half step in a key. I don't,
no,
I don't think, you know, if you sound good, you know, and you can still pull it off, but it's kind of
yeah,
like you said. I mean, a lot of times, I guess to get a certain tone or whatever, they're like, we want you up here. And then, you know, 20 years down the road, you can't be up there anymore. You just can't
no,
do that.
no.
So,
See, that's and tooting my own horn here. That's what I like about Patty is all the songs she recorded
yeah,
20, 30 years ago, she can still do it, and she's not changing the keys because
no.
she's not screaming,
And she just
So,
got such a pure tone. But I think
yes,
it helped too because she had somebody like Emery Gordy, you
producing
know,
her,
at producing her, you know, that
yes,
ended up being her husband.
yes,
He knew that. Oh, you're so sweet. Hannah Harper, yeah, she's amazing. That's one of them. I had not heard her, and I was listening to Froggy going to work the other day, and I heard her. Jim, I don't know if have you heard her yet?
I've heard part of, yeah, you turned me on to that. We were at a restaurant or
No,
somewhere.
that was somebody else.
Oh,
But
no, I
no,
guess.
Hannah Harper's from West Plains.
Oh, that's Dalton's sister.
Yes,
Yes, yes,
yes.
she's on American Idol or one of them
America's Got
shows.
Talent or what? I'm
Yeah,
terrible. I don't follow that stuff, but
I don't
she's
either,
got
but
a song that I mean, the song will make you want to cry. It talks about being
yes,
a young mom. It's
I
called
have heard it.
Spring Cheese,
Yes.
and you know, I mean, great song. But and then um, song I've been kind of stuck on a little bit here lately is Ella Langley. She has a song called "Choosing Texas." and I love the song.
That's
It's a
the song.
great song. That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were at Buffalo Wild Wings when you
and
said
it
that's
came
that
on. That's
song.
and then we went somewhere else, and it was there again. We were in the flea market. That's remember we were in the flea market, and it came on
Yes,
again.
yes,
So I mean, there's some of that, that it is good. There's some good country music out there. AI takes great vocalists and makes them average, and lesser singers sound mechanical. That is true. You're right about that.
yes,
Anybody can be fixed, and that's been going on for a while. But the AI has really taken over. It used to be just Pro Tools. Now it's a whole other realm of fixing.
yeah,
So, but no, getting back to the Nashville trip, we're going to be down
yeah.
there. We're heading out Wednesday morning. We're going to meet our Irish friends down there Wednesday evening for a full week of just lots of fun. Uh, we're we're going to be down there through next Tuesday, I think, or we're coming home Tuesday. But
But
it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to film a lot of content while we're there because we're going to have time. Um, I don't know that we're going to go every place that they go. Things
no,
like Country Music
we're
Hall of Fame and all that. They're going to be seeing all of that, and
yeah.
so.
We've
But
we've we've seen it.
yeah, we've seen it many times, and it's cool. If you've
Yeah,
if you've not been there, you need to go
and
check all these places out. But
and speaking of Patty, she has a exhibit there now.
oh, at
Honor
the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Yes, honoring. Well, we saw it last
Yep.
year.
Yep.
She was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, so they put up a really neat exhibit featuring artifacts and stuff from her
Mhm.
career. It's
Mhm.
really good.
Yeah. Well, and
And
also, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I said we'll be doing a lot of filming. Uh, you want to tell them what we're going to do?
Well, yeah, one of the
We're
things we're really excited about. I've been working on this for like a year, but just scheduling conflicts with us and with the powers that be. We're going to be going to RCA Studio B
yeah,
to do an interview with the folks there and get a private tour and talk to them about how.
yeah, we've done that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We've done that. We've gone on vacation for a weekend and forgot our garage door was open. So
Yeah,
but we
thanks.
do have it. And now we have people that know and they
Yeah,
watch to make
look,
sure.
thanks to our good neighbor Larry, he
Yep,
kind of
and
watches
Cookie.
that and
They
Cookie.
they watch they watch all our stuff. So um but yeah, we're going to RCA Studio B for a private interview for classic country backstories. And we've been working on that for, like I said, for probably a year.
Hmm.
The studio was originally built to accommodate the likes of Elvis Presley, and he ended up recording over 200 recordings there, 200 songs.
Yeah,
So many other legendary performers were there, like Jim Reeves and Eddie Arnold, Dolly Parton, Waylon Jennings, and Willie Nelson, and so many others.
yeah,
We're so excited to bring this content to classic country backstories. So you're going to have to stay tuned to see what happens there. There, I've watched a lot of things on it, and apparently there's a place in that studio that's considered the sweet spot to sing from.
yeah.
That's what that was the rumor for
Well,
years.
uh, Marty Stewart actually went in there and recorded an album a few years ago called the Studio B Sessions,
Mhm.
and he talked about that in an interview. Where the sweet spot was, so that's where he cut his vocals at.
I want to stand there
Yeah,
just once, you know, and
yeah,
and I think about, we just released the story on Jim Reeves a while back, and I think about him standing there. The pictures when I was doing that episode, the hair was standing up on the back of my neck because I'm thinking we're gonna go there and we're gonna stand where he was. So I'm really, really excited about that. So it's gonna be a really, really good time, I'm sure. But
yeah,
that's just one of the many things we're gonna do.
and we're gonna try to figure out how to do a live. We'll do it, maybe do a live broadcast from down there, probably in Music Valley Drive or something. We won't be able to go into the venues or anything because they'll be playing music, and we don't want to get demonetized or whatever.
No,
But
don't want to get dinged. That's not,
no, but
copyright infringement's
we
not cool. So
we might do a live video and show you around, the places down there in Music Valley Drive. So when you guys go down there, you can check it out.
yeah, yeah. Well, we've got a lot, like I said, a lot of stuff that we can do while we're down there. So, and
And we will remember to close the garage door, Kurt. Yes.
thank you for reminding us, Kurt. We
Yes.
appreciate that. And I'll wear the same shoes, two of the same shoes.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic.
Oh, I'll leave it at that. So
Yeah.
anyway, so we're excited to be doing that. Want to go through a little country music news here while we're here because there's a
Yeah.
lot to talk about. Daryl Singletary passed away 8 years ago this month
Mm.
on February the 12th. They just got done having his yearly tribute show, didn't they?
Yes.
Down at the Nashville Palace. So
Yes.
uh, we're huge fans of Daryl, and his passing was heartbreaking to us. We were fortunate enough to talk with his brother Kevin Singletary on Classic Country Backstories. So go look that up. It is on our YouTube channel. You can see that Kevin is great, and we really enjoyed talking to him and hearing all the stories about his brother. You can see how proud he was. So,
Yeah.
uh,
And we had Phil Fry, his bass
and we had
player.
Phil Fry on there as well. Yeah, that's right. And that he played bass guitar for a long time for Daryl Singletary. So, but yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 8 years since Daryl passed. It just does not even seem possible.
No.
And he was so young, So, but his music's still out there, and we're going to keep that going too. So, um, some other stuff, some birthdays. David Bellamy of the Bellamy Brothers turned 80 on February the 2nd. Clip Black turned 64 on February the 4th. Garth Brooks turned 64 on February the 7th. And also February 12th was Mo Bandy's 82nd birthday. That's hard to believe. Sammy Kershaw's 68th birthday was on February 24th. And Farron Young's birthday would have been February 25th, and Johnny Cash's would have been on February 26th. So, little birthday information there. Uh,
Also, I have some trivia information for you too on this day in March 1st.
all right.
In 1917, born in Stockton, excuse me, California, was Cliffy Stone,
Oh wow.
was born this day. Hank Williams in 1949 recorded Mind Your Own Business. Also born on this day in Cleveland, Ohio, was Catherine Bach, also
Really?
known as Daisy Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard. Let's see what else we got.
Let me add to that real quick.
Yeah,
They have a lot of the folks that were on the TV show Dukes of Hazard.
yes,
They do a lot of meet and greets. I mean, you can see John Schneider, you can see Tom Wopat, but I read something that Catherine Bach was at Cooters,
yes,
and she was there for like 6 hours, something crazy
yes.
like 6 hours, signing autographs. She
It was
stayed there the whole time.
it was longer than that
Was it
because
maybe? It was a
yes,
long time. They
because I have a note to throw in on this.
okay.
Kurt's sister and brother-in-law, they have, and you can see this on Heartland Hot Rods, they have a General Lee car.
That's
And
right.
inside the trunk, if you raise the trunk up, you can see all of them have signed it. Tom Wopat, John Snyder, and there's two or three others from the cast. But the only one they were missing was Catherine Bach.
Oh wow.
And so he took the trunk off of the car and took it down there, and she signed it. And there's pictures on, I think it's on Kurt Heartland Hot Rods Facebook page of them. I know it's on his brother-in-law or his brother's page of her signing the trunk.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and Kurt says it was it was 10 hours.
10 hours.
Yeah,
I knew it was like a long time. They said she stayed there the whole time. And
yes,
I don't know. I mean, I've always heard really, really kind things about her, that she was a really, really neat lady. So that
yeah,
is just amazing to me, and that people, it's great to me though that she had that many people there that showed up to pay respects to her by being there. I
yeah,
mean, I think that's amazing.
yeah,
So, I mean, I probably would like to meet her before I would anybody else.
yeah,
Yeah, if Denver Pyle had still been alive now, he would have been, or Jim Best, I mean, that would have been James Best. That would have been great. But
yeah,
but I just think a lot of her, I think that's just crazy, that she stayed there all of that time.
yeah,
Although, I mean, there are people that, during the old fanfare days. I don't know how it is with CMA Music Fest, but during fanfare, and which Kathy, my sister, we were there for 10 years, and it was unbelievable. Some of these people like Barbara Mandrell and Loretta Lynn that would just stay there and sign autographs, have pictures, and it's just amazing. It's cool. I don't know, you don't see that a whole lot. It used to be in the shows that people after their shows, when I was a kid, when I was first around Loretta Lynn, after the show, she would come down and she would sign autographs and she'd stay there forever and sign these autographs.
yeah.
Um, but you don't see that now in concert. That just really doesn't happen very often in live
No,
concerts. Now, you know, CMA Music Fest, that's what it's for. So, some
yeah.
people will come and do that, but you know,
Well, now they have these conventions, and they like Comic Con and all that,
oh
to
yeah,
where you pay to get
you,
in,
yeah,
and then you stand in line for 2 hours to get an autograph, and they charge you $30 for an autograph,
hmm,
or a
yeah,
hundred a hundred bucks for
yeah.
a picture
Yeah, they
to get
charge
your
you for admission, they charge you for the
yeah,
picture or whatever you have signed, then they charge you for the autograph or the picture to have a picture
yeah,
taken.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that it's not like it used to be. And
No,
also,
it's all
now
about money.
I'm gonna be the devil's advocate on that, because there's also eBay and these places where people will sell the autographs, and I think that created part of that, because
Well,
people, you know, I don't when I get a picture signed, I'm tickled to death if they're going to put my name on that picture.
right, but
But there are people will come with 20 things or 40 things and say, "I want you to sign these and don't put my name
yes,
on them." Well, what do you
you
think
know,
they're going to do with those
you
things?
know where that's going. It's
Yeah,
going up on Fleabay and Amazon and all that.
that's
You know,
right. That's right. So, I mean, I kind of get that. Kind of get it. I mean, it's sad for us, those of us that would like to get an autograph of somebody and just get it.
yeah,
But then, like I said, on the other hand, there are a lot of people you can still write and get autograph pictures. So that's kind
yeah,
of a cool thing too.
yeah,
So
yeah,
um, I want to move on because gosh, we've been
yeah.
on here an hour already, and I still got stuff.
Well, keep going.
So Ronnie Millsap just celebrated his 50th anniversary at the Grand Ole Opry, um,
Yes,
and his 80th birthday. I think it was 80th birthday
yes,
as well. Um, they had a show last week. Keith Urban was there, Blake Shelton, Trace Atkins. They were all on hand, and tons of others to celebrate Ronnie's amazing career and his anniversary at the Opry. And he was there and he sang. So that's pretty amazing that he's been around that long. Um, I mean, he started singing and playing really, really young. So, and I thought it was funny. I did see a clip though where uh,
I
I saw a couple of them. Keith Urban
with
was singing.
Trace Atkins.
Well, yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Keith Urban was singing, and he went down in the audience. He saw a little girl, and he told her he was glad she was there. But then he said, even though he said, "And I love you," even though you have a Blake
Blake
Shelton
Shelton.
T-shirt on. So then when Blake came out, he told Keith that he needed to quit harassing his people, his
Yeah,
crowd. Get your own fans and leave mine alone. And then when Trace Adkins came out and he sang at the end of the song, Blake Shelton came out and kissed him on the cheek.
Yeah, that's
And the
that,
look on his face was priceless.
yeah, that's the clip that I saw. It was funny because he grabbed him, put him in a big old bear hug, and gave him a big old kiss.
And Trace Atkins said something to the effect of, or no, or Blake Shelton did, like you crabby old man or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It was great. It was a great, great thing. So, other news I've got Dolly Parton and Keith Urban are part of the 2026 inductees into the Musicians Hall of Fame and Museum. So, this year's class
Oh,
also includes Don Huff, George Thorogood and the Destroyers, John Boylan, Leland Sklar, which I'm really tickled. That was James Taylor's bass player, and he's played for so many people.
yeah,
Michael McDonald and Nicky Hopkins.
yeah.
They're all going to be Musicians Hall of Fame's inducted over 170 musicians, producers, engineers, and industry icons. Um, each
If
new class of inductees reminds us why we do what we do, preserving and celebrating the legacy of the musicians who bring songs to life. We couldn't be more excited to welcome the legendary artists into the Musicians Hall of Fame. That was the comments that were made um, from Linda Chambers, who's the co-founder and CEO of the Musicians Hall of Fame. So,
yes, if you
uh,
have not been to the Musicians Hall of Fame in Nashville, it's where the municipal auditorium used to be downtown.
yeah,
You need to go there.
it's a cool
There
place.
is tons of cool artifacts there. Just
Yeah, yeah.
tons.
Yeah, you I don't know, you get a
We
feeling when you go in there and you see all
yeah,
this stuff and all the music that came from all the instruments that are in there, and it's just really something.
we went there when it first opened and it was great then, but we went last year when we were down there and went through it again,
Mhm,
and they've added so much
mhm.
stuff.
Well, like the Country Music Hall of Fame, they have so much stuff that they can't possibly have everything on display that they have.
Yeah,
I know at one point, Max T. Barnes, I mean, he had a lot of his dad's stuff. And he said, "What do you do with all this stuff?"
right.
So he called Hall of Fame and they came and brought a big old truck and picked up a bunch of stuff and took it. So it's archived. And at some point, some of the stuff, they bring things, put it on display, take it back, and put it in the archives for a while. So, and I'm sure Musicians Hall of Fame is, it's been there for longer than I thought.
Yeah,
Time goes quick. We
yeah,
went when it was pretty new, did
yeah.
we
And
not?
that was
2010.
16 years ago, 17
Yeah,
years
yeah.
ago.
So, I mean, and it's built. I mean, I can see if they don't already have archives, they will have, because people will keep donating, I hope. So, the induction ceremony is set for April 28th at the Fisher Center for Performing Arts in Nashville. So, that's going to be kind of a cool thing. So, which brings me to something else that we will be doing in the future at Classic Country Backstories. I'm looking forward to doing some episodes on the monumental musicians that have molded country music through the
Hmm.
years. I found a couple really cool books, and I meant to grab it before we went on the air, and I didn't. So, but I got a really cool book that's got a bunch of the like old time and traditional country pickers, people that played on sessions and played with these bands, Hank's band, and different things. So that's going to be one of my sources of many for the book that I recently came across. So we're going to be doing some stuff. So Anne says, "Do you think they will honor Bruce Watkins in some way?" I don't know. I hope so. I hope so. Bruce is a monumental musician. He is from Farmington, Missouri. Knew him all my life pretty well. Uh, he was a utility guy. He was a great banjo player. He played fiddle, banjo, guitar. He played on a lot of sessions. He played on Alabama sessions. He played on Alan Jackson sessions, George Jones, so many uh, big, big country stars, but just an incredible musician. And he just passed away here a few weeks
Yeah,
ago. So,
and he
uh,
he he toured with Dolly Parton for
He was,
years.
yeah, he was with Dolly for a long time, and we were really blessed. We did. There's a there's a festival that we've had in our area called Country Days that we've had for many years, and he brought Dolly Parton to town, and that was a big deal, really big
Yeah,
deal that he brought her for the show, and she came and he played, and she did the parade with him, because she wanted to show him off, and he was tickled to show her off too. So she was there, but then and he would come back home quite a bit and visit. We were blessed. He played with us at Country Days one year. He came
yes,
back and we tried to pay him, and all he wanted was a Western cheeseburger from Hunt's
yeah,
Dairy Bar, which is a local drive-in in town. So that's
yeah,
all he wanted. But he played with us, and I'm so tickled he did that. So he started out as a young fella with the Plummer Family Country Music Show in Farmington, Missouri. He played at the Sale Barn. I remember seeing him as a kid. So, and then they went to Branson and opened the third theater on the Branson Strip. And at that point in time, Bruce took off and went to Nashville. And he ended up getting into the session work and all that down there, and then traveling with Dolly. He did a lot of stuff. He had his own studio. He did a lot of gospel albums. Was just a really really cool guy. So he's going to be greatly missed. We will definitely
yes.
miss him, and I'm sure somebody's going to do some tributes for him down there. I would imagine. I'm pretty sure. So
I may, I
uh,
may, I may try to put that video up if we don't get struck by it of the DVD he gave us of Country Days where
oh
he's
yeah,
in the parade.
I don't think
Yeah,
that'd be a problem. There's no
I
music. I don't think we can cut
there's
the music out so we
yeah
can at least show
there,
him.
there's some concert footage of that night. Him playing with Dolly, but
Yeah,
we can cut
yeah.
the audio out. But I think it'd be cool to have people can see it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Incredible musician, great and a great guy. Such a great guy.
Funny. Oh
Bless
my
his heart.
gosh, he was so
Oh yeah.
funny.
He
We
could
s-
tell stories that we wouldn't tell on here,
we
but
yes, we sat
and it was
backstage that
yeah,
night at Country Days, and just me and Mike Toffall, and we just rolled at the stuff
yeah.
that he was telling us. All the studio session stories, and you know,
Well, and I think, working with Dolly, and Dolly's got an
yeah,
incredible sense of humor. She's
yeah,
funny. She's
yeah. There's
funny, and she played that up, and they all enjoyed being around her.
yeah, there's
And
a
it, yeah.
there's a Pig Robbins story that we can't tell on here, but it's funny.
Oh, poor pig. God love him. But anyway, so going back to the musicians though, Nashville would be nothing if it wasn't for the amazing pickers that are on all of the records and that go out and beat the road with all these artists. So we're blessed to have some great friends that are musicians in Nashville, and we're going to be
Hmm.
featuring them as well. So we'll be doing, stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing some of that. So brings up something else. I know last time we were on here, we were talking about Ray Stevens and about his version of Misty. And
Yeah,
on his Facebook, popped up, there's a live version of him doing Misty, and it's amazing. It was recorded, probably around the time he recorded it, maybe a little bit after, but it really shows what an amazing singer that he is. Along with being a player, he played on so many things that we don't even know he played on, for
yeah,
RCA. So, but you can go to his Facebook page and look him up. Um, Also, wanted to say that Jody Messina, she's out there on the road. I've been seeing a lot of things with her. She's very busy these days. She sounds great. Our buddy Johnny Stanton, formerly of Steel Woods, plays bass guitar for her and has since Steel Woods disbanded. So it looks like he's got a pretty great gig, and we wish Jody well. And
yeah,
hopefully the she continues to have the success that she's having. She look at I mean her
yeah.
tours out there.
She's going to be
Uh,
playing the Opry March 25th.
oh wow,
Yeah,
wow. Well, I don't know. I mean, because I'm making another trip back down there at the end of the month, so may have to catch her then. But I would love to see her. She's a great singer, great entertainer, that's for sure. So, We wish her well. We hope she does continues to have a lot of success. So another
Yeah.
one artist I'm seeing a lot is Jeff Bates.
Yeah.
He's working a bunch and he still sings great as well. He's got a Facebook page and he's on there every day pretty well. So you need to check that out if you haven't.
Yeah.
We worked with him. Go ahead.
His Facebook lives are funny. He gets
They
on
are
there.
funny.
He gets on there in the morning and he's got his cup of coffee and he says, "I hope your coffee is as good as mine is."
He is. He's good. He's the real deal too. We
Yeah.
worked with him at the Nashville Palace while we were doing a residency with Max T. Barnes a few years back, and we had a ball with him. So he's great. Is there anything else you got for us, Jim? Have you gone
Uh,
through what you got?
I think I'm good. We've been on here an hour and 10 minutes. Everybody's probably kind of bored listening to us yak. So,
Well, I tell you what, I'm so grateful that we were able to get on here this evening and that we had so many people checking us out. Hang in there. Hey, Mr. Charlie Collins, how you doing, buddy? Glad you're here with us.
yeah,
He says, I hope your coffee's
sure
as
is
good as
fine.
mine. Mine sure is fine. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm really hoping someday I get to do a Loretta and Conway song with him. We
Yeah,
talked
that'd be
about
cool.
that. Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked him and I talked about that, because of course I did Coal Miner's Daughter and at the show and I'm singing and I didn't realize he'd done his show and he was sitting in the audience watching us, which was a little nerve-wracking when I'm doing Coal Miner's Daughter and having him, sitting there watching. But it's kind of like Bobby Bear. It was the same kind of deal. So, uh, but I would love to do something with him. I think it'd be
Yeah.
good. Another one would be Con Hunley. That's a bucket list. I need to get a hold of him. I
Yeah.
want to record with Con Hunley, and he doesn't even know me. So
He's a monster.
he is a monster, that's for sure. So, well, folks, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We appreciate your support. Drop us a note, watch the videos, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get those subscribers up. They're slowly moving, so they're getting up there, and we do appreciate everything you do for us. We're going to keep trying to make the best content we know how to make. We're going to try to keep traditional country music alive. And we wish you all well, and we hope you all have a good one, and you take care. And like I always say, take care. God bless, and we'll see you later. Okay.
Good night.
Good night.